Dunkin' Donuts, of course. I got the cold brew with the cold brew foam. And this is the bomb dot. Come! Oh my goodness. Hello. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. You are watching Ride or Die with moNiA. And today we're gonna be doing a get ready with me featuring the Wild Wild West palette from Urban Decay. Has anyone else gotten this palette? Because it is stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, phenomenal. Look at these colors. I just wanna rub them everywhere. Anyway, so we're gonna do a quick get ready with me. I love this palette, so I wanna do something a little spunky, funky. I don't even know where to like go, like just something different. I love Urban Decay. Urban Decay is like, they just get me, they speak to me. This is one of the first brands that got me hooked on their makeup and like getting into makeup in general, because their colors are always so like eccentric and eclectic and just like in your face. And here I am a little over a decade later and I'm like, Urban Decay came out with the Wild Wild West palette. I must get it. And I tried it out on my friend Steph. And yeah, the colors are amazing. They never let me down. All of that being said, let's just go ahead and play with some makeup. Okay, so first, as we should always start off with our looks, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows real quick, and then I'll be right back so then we can start with the eyes. And I always use my Hourglass pencil for my brows. Be right back. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna do now that I've done my brows, this Brow Blow Up by Kaya Beauty. You don't know what life is if you haven't purchased this or used this. Okay, I swear they come, I have like, what is it? Who takes your teeth at night and then gives you money? The Tooth Fairy. I swear I have a Kaya Beauty Fairy because this like is never ending. It's just like unlimited supply. So I think they come into my home at night and then they go swap this one out for a new one. So the next thing we gotta do is the eyeshadow primer. Hourglass eyeshadow primer is bomb, but Urban Decay also will never let you down. So what do we want to discuss? Oh my God, there's like so much crazy stuff I can talk with you guys about. So yesterday I had my friend David over and he helped me repot my plants because I don't know what I'm doing, and he's like has a green thumb, so I'm like, ugh, I'll just feed you champagne and French 75s, just why supervise, and we can just do this together. And he's like, all right, sure, whatever, yeah, let me know when you're free and I'll come over. I am dipping into their lightest shade called Standoff. I'm very standoffish if I do not like you. Anyways, so he came over yesterday and we made a mess outside of my apartment trying to replant these plants. I had 3 in total. One of them, RIP, had to throw away. I don't know what the heck happened, but when we took it out of the planter or like the container, there were worms everywhere. Disgusting. I was like ashamed because I am a clean freak. So I've been told. I think I just like being tidy. But anyways, I was like, oh my God, close your eyes. Do not look. Let me go ahead and like pick it up and throw it out. And he's just like, and I'm like, this is awkward. I am so sorry. We ended up throwing it out. So what happened, fast forward to why I wanted to have him help me, is because I noticed that they've been like gnats in my home. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and just replant them. I bought soil that is like specifically for creating an environment where gnats can't live or like reproduce, something in the soil. I don't know. Something, yeah. See, this is how much I know about planting. I'm like, look how pretty it is. It's green, wow. But outside that, I'm like clueless. And so I've had this like gnat problem for like 2 weeks, probably like a little bit over a month. And I bought like neem oil, which is supposed to help. That did nothing. So then I ended up getting like these little stickers that you put around the soil to help like catch the gnats and like kill them in a sense, but like really that wasn't solving the root of the problem, no pun intended. So that's why I was like, hey, can you help me? I gotta replant it. Maybe it's the soil. Maybe there's like root rot. I did notice like one of them was dying. So I was like, just come over and we'll figure this out together. And so when he did come over, it was not root rot. It was the fact that it was like infested with disgusting worms. Oh my God, I was so grossed out. Like, this is why people buy fake plants. So yeah, that's what we did yesterday, and it got messy. And then we just went wild, and my other friend's son came over and we just got litty. See, this is like just blending so beautifully. It's like, I don't get it. They have to put like crack in here or something. There's no way. And now I'm gonna go in with Spur. Oh, so the color I put on before Spur was Nudie, which was like a darker nude. Spur is just like a nice, cute orange. So essentially, I've become very self-aware of people that are in my life, the choices that I make of who I want in my life. And so I've been getting better at picking out and seeing and following my intuition on who's like manipulative and who's genuinely like just a nice person, right? So with that comes a lot of responsibility. So basically I met this chick. I am totally the type of person that does not get involved in drama. I actually hate it, and I think it's like really immature. I am type of the person that is very laid back. I do not like drama, and I will do everything in my power to avoid drama. Like, I do not like drama, period. But for some reason or another, it always finds its way to me. And you probably are thinking, well, that's probably because you're the common denominator, Monica. And I'm like, that's what I thought. But then I just observed my surroundings a little bit more and my interactions. And really, it is not me. It is the women I interact with in my life are so insecure that they can't help but start shit with me because they're so threatened by me. And I am all about like women empowering women. I don't think that there should ever be a reason for you to like put people down based off their status, their career, their wealth, their looks, their, you know, their physical features, whatever, their height, their weight, their beauty, their hair color, whatever it may be. I do not think it is in any point of time okay to be demeaning towards someone based off stupid shit such as like where they work, how much money, where they come from, their education, things like that. Like, I just find that to be like all status quo, and I really don't think that defines whether a person is good or not. So I have interacted with this specific woman for just the enough amount of time to be like, I see you, boo. You are manipulative as fuck. And so at first I was like, that's not adding up. That's weird. And then I'm like, my gut instinct is like, ugh, that's off. But then I was like, no, you're paranoid. You're getting into your head. But my gut instinct, my intuition was like, nope, stay away. That is not okay. Something is off. Something's wrong. You don't know the full story. There's something weird, fishy, and wrong going on. So I basically interacted with this female. And like within the first few hours, I was able to figure out how fake as fuck she was. So there was interactions, and we just exchanged like light and casually being like, oh, like, you know, what do you do? And I'm like, this is what I do. I don't really like talking about my job or my career. I think there's more to me than just my career. Like, I think there's way more interesting conversations to have about in this world than my job. I mean, I'm like, not that my job is boring, but I feel like my job doesn't define me. Do I want to excel and be ambitious and and grow in my career? Absolutely. But do I think that that defines me, who I am as a person, my personality, what I do, all that stuff? No, I have better things to do than to be concerned about my status in my career and letting that define me and like allowing me to have that status to belittle other people. I don't roll like that. That being said, within the first few conversations that we exchanged, it was just like, hey, you know, what do you do? Da, da, da. And I'm like, you know, I do X, Y, and Z. Like very light, nothing wrong with that. And I was like, well, what do you do? She's like, oh, meow. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, well, like, can you go into like more detail? Like, I would love to learn like what you do. And she's just like, not verbatim, but the message that she sent to me was, you wouldn't understand what I do, so I'm not gonna get into that much detail about it. And I was like, excuse me? And I was like, oh, okay. Well, guess I'm just missing out then. And so that was like the first like, ooh, you're one of those people. So she clearly allows her career to define her. Beyond that, she has no personality. Boring as. And I was like, just at that point, like put off. I was like, you're one of those people. And I think these people could be male or female. So I don't want to gender or like stereotype it based off gender. I think it genuinely could be a male or female. I think it's just, how insecure are you? And are you gonna let those insecurities lead your life? So that was that. I did not seek any more interactions with her. I kept my distance. I was like, I'm not here for it. This is not the type of people that I want to associate myself with. I don't like pretentious, prissy, pompous assholes, to be completely honest. And anyone that treats people like that, I'm just like, oof, if you can treat me like that, that means you're probably like that asshole that treats waiters or hostesses like shit because you have some money that you can throw around and flaunt and feel like you can boss them around and be entitled. So in that sense, I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm avoiding you at all costs. Once people get the sense that I'm avoiding them, they're like, let me just go ahead and bother moNiA some more. Like, let me go ahead and like just keep poking. And I am a very, very patient person. Like, I'm like, like we're not doing this. So it's basically like, I was playing put baby in the corner with myself. Like anywhere I sat, anywhere I stood, anywhere I interacted with people, I always from the corner of my eye had like an escape route where I can just like run to the bathroom, run outside, run into another room, just like dip as quickly as possible, because I was just like, hell no, I'm not dealing with this shit right now. I am too grown. And I've gone through too much shit in my life to be dealing with some dumb ass petty drama. So again, the more I tried to avoid her, it's like the more she sought out like attention from me. It's almost like she knew I wanted nothing to do with her. So therefore she's like, oh, I want to just keep bothering moNiA. So the more and more we interacted, the more and more I want to go, and like be like, ew, like, it's just like, you're just making this worse. Like I was hoping that was going to be a pass, but then like, it just turned into nonsense. So it got to the point where not only was she just a complete jerk from that first interaction I had with her, the more interactions I had with her, the more passive aggressive she would be. Like, oh, you're an American and you can speak another language? And I'm like, excuse me? Like, who the fuck deemed you to be the boss of like languages or the one to say whether someone is fluent or not in something you have zero knowledge in, and you probably couldn't even find it on the map if it fucking slapped you in the face? Let's be real. Okay, so I was just like, get out of my face. I am not dealing with you. You are just so incredibly rude. And I can speak Polish fluently, right? But I am a little bit insecure about it because it's not like perfect professional Polish, and some of it I do use slang. That's just like the environment I was raised in. You know, when you are in your home with your parents, it's informal, right? You're not like, dear madame, can I have a bowl of cereal? It's like, yo mom, hook me up with some cereal. You know, it's like cash. So because of that, you know, my Polish is not like, I mean, I can definitely carry a conversation. I'm fluent. It's just not perfect, I guess you can say. And that's totally fine, right? However, when someone else thinks that you can't speak it and you can't speak it well, and all this BS, they start picking and poking at you. It's almost like they know. And so it's not that I'm insecure about speaking Polish. I'm not like, I won't jump to be like, hey, how are you? And like start interacting with you. Another thing I do in Polish is like, because I've been speaking English has been predominantly what I do since I was a little kid and like got out of like Polish school and no longer went to like a Polish church and stuff like that. I now translate everything from English to Polish. So like when I say I want to fly, like I flew on a plane, to me, fly is purgnąć, which is it's like a bird is flying. Like that's the terminology they associate with that. But I'll be like, I flew on a plane, right? And in English, that makes sense. But when you say that in Polish, ja furgoj na samolocie, people are like, you are a bird flying in a plane? Like they're like, what? But then like they laugh at me because they're like, we know what you're getting. And I think it's funny. Like I am not ashamed. I think it's just like I'm a little timid when it comes to that. So I always have like a good kick because I'm like, oh my God, pendeja. Like, come on, get it together, moNiA. So it's all good and fun. It's great, right? I don't mind. But it's like she could just, I don't even know. Like she was just like so insecure and so out of control that I was just like, ew. Like I just didn't want her to be by me. When she overheard me speaking another language, she was just like, oh, you're speaking another language? And I'm like, ew, don't leave me alone. And so ever since that time, she's just been fake as fuck. And so now, because many people from that moment and have heard like and saw what she did to me, no one really wants to associate with her anymore because she's just like a complete asshole. If we're just gonna put it straight. A lot of people have been distancing themselves from her. Well, homegirl likes to. So there's types of people in this world where if they can't get what they want, they will get what they want using other methods, right? So I use my charm. Like I can be very persuasive and very charming and convincing. It's not flirtatious. It's not like I'm like rubbing on you. It's just like, be like, come on, don't be like that, you know, and just like be silly and like goofy with them, right? And typically 9 out of 10 times that works for me. Homegirl led with her sexuality. So she couldn't get what she wanted in front of me. She would rub up, grind, like touch intimately and sensually on like these men to get their attention. And so that was even like a bigger red flag because I'm like, oof, that is not good. That is not cute. We are not doing this right now. Like, I do not want anything to do with you because you are whack. So I just thought it was like funny that it got to that point where you're just like, ooh, she really is like, oh, sorry. So after Spur, that orange color, I use Laredo, which is like more of a darker, like a taupe color. Then I went in just now with Whiskey to darken this part of my eye. And now I'm going into Ghost Town and Whiskey to fluff out and darken the lower lash. So anyways, it's been like pretty clear outside of our conversation that she was intentionally doing things to me to ostracize me and keep me out of the loop, not include me in things. And I just thought that was extremely petty and childish. And what I did was like, I see you, doesn't bother me, but I will call you out if you tried to pull some dumb shit on me. Like I would definitely buck up and say something. So she ends up texting me and she's just like, hey, here is a shared album. I noticed that X, Y, and Z didn't share it with you. So now that I have some time, I thought I'd go ahead and share it with you. I was like, I I see you. She had the shared album created for over a week. She was excluding me from that. She was excluding me from group chats. She was just doing everything to just be like really high school-ish and petty. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, it doesn't really bother me because I don't really see you as like someone that I'd hang out with. And we just have like different levels of maturity when it comes to like responding or going about things in life. Like we just had two completely different paths. Like I had to earn every single dollar that I have gotten to this day. And I had to learn based off labor because my parents both immigrated here from Poland. So my mom cleans homes and my dad had a construction business. So growing up, I never had a job. The job that I had since I was like 14 was to go and clean houses with my mom so I can learn what $1 would get you in life and like how difficult it is for some people in this world to earn a nice living and the extent they had to do, especially since both my parents are uneducated. I think that's why I have a soft spot for, you know, hardworking, labor-intensive people. And I give them that much more respect for what they do because it really is not just labor, but it's like mental and emotional. And I don't think people get to see that. They just get to see like, oh, like, you know, it's a hostess, like they're just standing there. But it's like, but yeah, but like they do a lot more than just stand there. Like they have to deal with angry customers. You know how emotionally draining an angry customer is? Would you want to deal with that? Because I know I wouldn't. So all of a sudden she decided that she wanted to include me in shit. And I'm just like, okay, I see you. And I'm gonna call you out. And I blatantly was like, oh, and here I thought you didn't want me to be a part of anything. And her response was something along the lines of like, I was so busy and I didn't have your contact information, so I can add you to the Google shared album. You have my cell phone number and that's all you need, along with maybe an email, if that's the route you wanted to go, to subscribe me to your shared album. I'm not dumb. Like, don't play these games with me because I'm not here for it. So when she said that, I was just like, okay, now she's a liar. Not only is she pretentious, she's manipulative, and she's a liar. Like, great. I want nothing to do with her. When people are manipulative, I really just shut down. I want nothing to do with them. I think they are terrible people. I've experienced this way too much in my life, and I don't have the space or energy for it. And I've had to cut a lot of people out in my life because they would, you know when you have the saying, you give someone an inch, they take a mile? That's manipulative people. So the manipulative people that I've had in my life, I cut them out because I'm like, no, I've been beyond amazing to you and you just keep taking me for granted. You just use and abuse me, and then you play these like stupid games with me. And I genuinely don't have time. I don't have the energy, and I'm way too old to be dealing with your shenanigans. So we're not even entertaining this conversation. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my setting spray. By the way, this is the Tatcha setting spray bottle, but inside of it is the Urban Decay setting spray because this spray is to die for. Way better than Urban Decay. When Urban Decay sprays me sometimes, I'm like, my eye. This should not be happening. I'm gonna dab my eyeliner brush into it so I can dip into this pretty bud color. Okay, so I'm gonna dip into bud and I'm gonna start building out this eyeliner. I'm excited. This is gonna look real pretty. I'm crazy, but I'm crazy for you. Ooh, look at that. So spicy. Okay, and now I'm gonna do hold 'em on the bottom lower lash. I think that's the look. What do you guys think? We're now dipping into Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. And we're gonna go ahead and prime our face. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, put my Dior concealer, Forever Skin Correct. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face, be right back, and we'll continue with the rest of the look. Okay, so I have set my face with the Tatcha Silk powder, and if you want to know how I feel about it, check out there should be a card here. There's a card right now. Click on the card up above and it'll direct you to the Tatcha Silk finishing or translucent setting powder to see what I think about it. Ow. Okay, next we're gonna do contour. Oh my God, does anyone else love concerts? Because I think I mentioned this before. I love reggaeton. I love R&B. I love soul music. Like, that is my shit. Like, oh, obsessed. It's just everything to me. They have good bops. Their vocals are incredible. And the lyrics are amazing. The instrumentals, I mean, from like A to Z, everything about R&B, soul, reggaeton is just like spectacular. Obsessed with it. So, moNiA Baby is coming to Dallas on October 28th, and I'm gonna be there. I cannot wait. I am beyond excited. I am like a little hoe for him. Just kidding. But like he is my celebrity crush for sure. I'm seriously obsessed with him. His voice is everything. I love his like edgy vibe. He just has this like sexy, sultry look to him. And I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to me, baby. So I'm excited to go see him in concert. I might potentially get like really good seats. Don't jinx it for me. Hourglass bronzer. But yeah, he is for sure my like celebrity crush. I just adore him. His voice is amazing. He looks sexy. He's just so handsome. And when he speaks English with his like thick Colombian accent, it's like, ooh, yeah, keep talking to me like that. I don't think I've ever been to a reggaeton concert before, but he'll be performing at like the American Airlines Center. So I'm excited. And I'm like, who do I need to recruit? So my friends at work were the ones that originally told me. And I'm like, you guys are fake as fuck because you've known about this for weeks and you have not mentioned this to me. And you know, I'm the one that introduces you to moNiA's music. And you're just now gonna like be like so nonchalant and cash about being like, hey Monica, I should you guys a concert. I'm like, front row seats on the floor. I don't care. I will do whatever I need to get those tickets and to be that close to him because that is the most beautiful man on this planet. Does anyone else listen to moNiA? But yeah, I'm beyond excited. Like, I am busting a nut knowing that I'm gonna see him in concert. And I can't wait to see him in person. I can't wait to potentially see him backstage. Like, I will do whatever I need to do to get a hold of him. I am on a mission, guys. It's like, am I crazy and obsessed with him? Absolutely. You heard it from me first. Does anyone ever go to concerts and they're like so obsessed with who they're about to see that they like cry and like have like a nervous meltdown? I have not done that, but I would be here for it. But yeah, I'm so excited. If anyone else is going to that concert, let me know. I want to know if you're going because I'm too excited to go. And yeah, so one of my instructors, my workout instructor, she is obsessed with moNiA. Like, she can have him over me. Like, I just want to stare. Like, I don't need to touch him. I just want to stare and like adore his beauty. But she is like obsessed with him, and I'm like totally here for it. Like, I'm like, of course you are. Who wouldn't be? And so when I saw her today at the gym, I'm like, bitch, did you know moNiA was gonna be here October 28th? And she's like, hell yeah. And she's like, dude, we should go together. I'm like, oh my God, you know it. We would pull some like crazy shit together and like jump the fence and figure out where he is so we can just like stalk him and like see him in person. And I haven't been in a concert in forever. The last concert I went to, oh my God, it was Jacquees. That was my go-to lip liner by Pat McGrath, Done Undone. Now I'm gonna go in with my Tom Ford lipstick in Universal Appeal number 33. And I'm gonna dab it on the center of the lips. So creamy. Now I'm gonna do my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went on, put my mascara on, and I was like, I'm really hungry. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat. And I just had like a full-on meal. So sorry. I'm back. Here is the look with the mascara. One last final touch is I'm gonna put this lipstick from Hourglass. It's called I Wish on the center to give it a little bit more dimension. Ah, and look at that. I am here for it. Okay, so this is the just cute little look that we're going for today with the Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. It was amazing. I loved every single color of it. I can't wait to play around with it some more and create other fun looks with this. But this is like sexy. Like I'm like, okay. Thanks for watching this and getting ready with me and like kind of like a story time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Say hi, don't be shy, and have a good one. Be safe, guys. Bye. Yeah, to me, I know what she wants right now. It's loyalty, 'cause she's the best of me. She my little ghetto thing. She crazy already. Might buy a wedding ring.